Rain hissed against the shattered dome of Outpost 47, tracing pale lines down cracked glass. The world beyond was a wasteland of ash and violet lightning. Inside, the flickering light of dying power cells painted the floor in broken shadows. Eli crouched beside the control panel, his hands trembling as he tried to bypass the last layer of security. His breath came hard and shallow, part exhaustion, part guilt. He hadn't planned to survive this mission. Wirings fused, he muttered to himself, teeth gritted. I need another 5 minutes. But the alien girl watching him, small, silver-skinned, her eyes like deep pools of amethyst, shook her head. You don't have 5 minutes, she whispered. Her voice trembled like wind through crystal. The storm will breach the walls. If you stay here, you'll be torn apart. Eli glanced back at her. He'd found her barely an hour ago, half buried in the rubble, her breathing weak, her limbs scraped raw. A prisoner, a test subject, left behind when her captors fled. And now, somehow, she was his only chance to stop the meltdown that would consume the valley. I can't leave yet, he said. If I don't shut this reactor down, it'll blow. It'll take out every settlement in 50 miles. Her hands curled against her chest as though she wanted to help but didn't know how. But you'll die, she murmured. Eli smirked faintly. Not the first time I've come close. He turned back to the console, wires sparking under his gloves. The code he'd stolen from the Dominion scientists was incomplete, half a language he didn't understand. His fingers bled from scraping metal, his vision blurred. Still he typed. Still he fought. Behind him, the alien girl, no more than 17 by human measure, rose unsteadily to her feet. Her thin robes were torn, her skin bruised with the strange blue-black marks of her kind. When she spoke again, her voice quivered between fear and resolve. Human, she said, stepping closer. You helped me. You saved me. I must tell you the truth. Eli stopped typing. Now's not the time. It is, she said louder this time. The flickering light caught her trembling face. That machine. It cannot be shut down by human hands alone. He turned sharply, eyes narrowing. What do you mean? She hesitated, then raised one delicate hand. Energy shimmered faintly across her skin. The reactor was built using my people's lifeblood. Our energy signature powers it. To stop it, you need one of us. But the connection burns the soul. Eli's mind reeled. You mean whoever does it, dies? She nodded once. That is the price. Lightning cracked outside. The outpost groaned as the storm's magnetic surge hit the walls. He could feel the pulse of the reactor through the floor. Faster, hotter. Then we both die, Eli said. I'll link you in, guide your pulse, and we'll shut it down together. But the alien girl shook her head fiercely. No, you must live. The others, they'll need you. He almost laughed at that. The others? There's no one left to need me. Her eyes softened. That is not true. She took a halting step toward him, clutching his sleeve. I saw it in your mind when you touched me. The village, the little ones who still wait for your return. Eli swallowed hard. He'd forgotten that her kind could see thoughts, fragments of memory. That's not your concern, he muttered, but she wouldn't let go. Her fingers tightened on his arm, surprising him with their strength. Listen to me, human. Her voice trembled, but her eyes were fierce now. This is your last chance. Do it now or never, he stared at her. You can't mean... I will do it. Her hands glowed brighter now, the energy pulsing up her arms in ripples of light. My life is small. Yours is long. If I stop it, maybe I will finally be free. Free, he whispered, her lips curved in a small, trembling smile. They used me to build it. It's only right that I end it. Eli reached for her wrist, trying to stop her, but she was already walking past him toward the main console. Her bare feet made soft sounds on the metal floor. The air around her shimmered as though it couldn't bear her presence. Wait, he shouted, grabbing her shoulder. You don't even know what that surge will do to you. She turned her head slightly, her eyes filled with a strange, quiet peace. It doesn't matter. He stared at her, chest aching. Damn it, girl. I didn't save you so you could die 5 minutes later. You didn't save me, she whispered. You gave me the chance to choose. Then she pressed her glowing palm to the control sphere. The world exploded in light. Eli was thrown backward, the blast slamming him into a wall. Every nerve screamed as raw energy flooded the room. Through the haze, he saw her, hair whipping like silver fire, her body trembling violently as the reactor's pulse merged with her. Her scream was both agony and release. Stop, he yelled, dragging himself toward her, but his limbs wouldn't move fast enough. The console blazed brighter, brighter, until all he could see was white. Then silence. He didn't know how long he was unconscious. When he woke, the storm was gone. The air was eerily still. The reactor hum had vanished. The dome was cracked open to the gray sky, letting thin sunlight filter in, and she lay there, at the center of it all, motionless. Eli crawled to her side, his throat tight. Her silver skin was pale now, almost translucent, but her face was peaceful. In her open hand, faint light still shimmered, fading slowly. He touched her fingers gently. They were warm. "You did it," he murmured, voice breaking. "You actually did it." Her lips twitched faintly. "I told you," she whispered, barely audible. Last chance. Tears stung his eyes. He brushed a lock of hair from her face. "You shouldn't have done it alone." Her eyes fluttered open, weak but steady. "I wasn't alone," she said softly. "You stayed." He froze. She smiled faintly, then exhaled, and the last light in her hand faded away. Eli sat there for a long time, the wind whispering through the broken dome. When the rescue ships came hours later, they found him still sitting beside her, holding her hand. They asked what had happened. He only said she saved the world. 3 days later, as the outpost's wreckage was being cleared, one of the engineers called for him. "Sir," the man said, pointing to a containment capsule salvaged from the reactor core. "This was in the primary chamber. It's glowing." Eli approached slowly. Inside the capsule, wrapped in threads of silver light, was a small crystal, the same hue as her eyes. It pulsed once when he touched the glass. A heartbeat. Weeks passed. The settlement survived. The radiation storm died. People began to rebuild, speaking of the human who stopped the meltdown, never knowing he hadn't done it alone. Eli kept the crystal with him wherever he went. Sometimes, when the nights grew too quiet, he could feel it warm in his palm, like a tiny hand pressing back. And once, when he whispered into the darkness, "You gave me my last chance too." The crystal pulsed softly in reply.